What's up, friends and family? Johnny Porter back finally after much ado with another Buhurt breakdown. And today I got a pretty fun match. This one was actually requested by a few people. Shout out to Emmanuel and Ellis, Alex, a couple others, anybody that sent me a message asking me to review this fight, because I watched it live and I thought about reviewing it immediately because it was a fun one and there's a lot of lessons to take away from it. It's a good match between two relatively top level fighters in the US, at least in the Buhurt meta. We are going to be watching Adam Harrigan versus Alex Doss. You can probably see it from the title. But these two guys are not only both friends of mine, they're teammates as well. And as you can see, they're both rocking the Dominus tabards. So it's kind of this mirror matchup in a sense as far as their training metas go. I mean, the grappling styles, are going to be very similar, as you could imagine. They both know each other's games really well. Now, at the same time, Adam, a week before this fight, had a fight in AMMA. And a lot of people don't know, but if you have back-to-back weekends, it's kind of this weird thing where you're not training the normal way you would because you don't have the build up to a single event. You have to build up to an event, fight your hardest, and then do a really intense kind of recovery / light training week into the next fight, which is then another intense one. And the more of those you have in a row, I will just say the more diminished your performance becomes. I've seen it myself. There's a way to kind of plan and ramp up through them. But if you have back-to-back weekend events or really back-to-back events, you have to consider each one as almost like a training event for the next one until you get to the final arc or the final stage of your crusade. And at that point, then you leave it all out there. But you've got to remember before that, there's more to come, just like in a fight, with multiple rounds. So if you have back-to-back fights in 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, I guarantee you by those last ones, you're going to be feeling it. You're going to be a little bit doled, right? You're using all those tools. So just something to be aware of. And in the meanwhile, it's not like Alex wasn't out there training, doing stuff. He's with his team, he's grinding. I'm sure he's fighting hard too, but he did not have a pro fight the weekend before against a top tier guy or another high level competitor. Shout out Jordan Rank. I'm going to be reviewing one of your fights too. I got a couple of them that I've been watching. I really love your grappling style, so we're going to be looking at some of that soon, breaking it down. But anyways, let's kind of jump right in, long intro, talking a little bit about the boys. Much love to all my patrons and the people who have kept encouraging me to keep making new content. So this is for all of you and hopefully anyone interested in this wild sport. So let's watch two good, high-quality fighters. Both of them got pretty optimized kits, relatively lightweight. Buckler for Alex Doss, punch shield for Adam. You'll always take a second to note that Adam's lefty. He's southpaw, got that sword in his left hand. A lot of foam fighting experience. Good fencing work from Adam immediately. Good right hand over the top. Alex kind of trying to walk him down, march through. Gets a little sloppy with his strikes, hands falling down after he kicks or throws a punch or a sword shot. Adam's a little bit more disciplined, backing out and circling, trying to land that right hand over the top, clinch position. Underhook from Adam, circles back out again, throwing the right hand. That was his main weapon this whole fight. Big front kick from Alex, leaps into the punch, lands the punch pretty good. Trying to clinch up a lot. Alex trying to clinch, lands a knee, low leg shot, eats the right hand again. He's just walking right into it a bunch this round, 3 in a row right there. Finally answers with the left, right, takes another uppercut, lands a knee, and now he's got Adam in a pretty good clinch position, goes for a takedown, doesn't quite get it. Adam almost has a spot where he could reverse, but he doesn't have a good enough control of the head there. He couldn't have gone for a throw. He would have just slid off or been reversed himself. He could have maybe baited a throw to get a second or different type of throw, set up a counter. Nice Superman attempt from Alex, glancing land. Then they exchange sword blows, kind of sizing each other up after a big exchange. Good hook, and then sword shot to the body. A little exchange, pretty even there with the sword work. Now Alex walks him down, Nice, nice into the round. A strong end for Alex there with the chop into the punch combo. Kind of backed Adam into the corner. Alex's knee is a little messed up there in the corner. His armor was bound up. Joseph Branch, shout out Joseph, one of the best dudes in the sport, just helping out Alex. And then another great guy in Adam's corner, Kyle Olson. Shout out Kyle from Montana. Can't wait to fight with Kyle soon. He's going to be helping out the Vagabonds on a couple of our campaigns. Be on the lookout. Probably giving each other advice. The big thing I'd take away from that is like Adam is landing his shield punch far too often, far too successfully. That means Alex needs to stop just walking straight in. He's kind of just coming on that line, and he eats it and he just comes through. But he's still taking those shots. So if he wants to eat less shield punches, he could cut a little bit more of an angle and use his shield in his right hand to parry those punches a little bit more, right? His hands are down often because he strikes to close the void, get across that gap between the two of them, and then as he does, his hands drop and he eats a punch. So here we go, round two. Straight punch from Adam immediately. Exchange of sword blows to the body. Neither of them really winning the sword battle. Ooh, clean straight from Alex right there. Nice. Adam tries to reverse. Almost looking for a double. I think Adam is trying to waste, or I don't know if he's trying to, but he's wasting the energy going for this double. He needs to get out and just let go. Try and fight for a better position. Alex is working to finish the takedown, gets the head control, circle out. Nicely done. Really nicely done. That's textbook. That's how I would do it in a melee or in a pro fight. Goes for a headbutt, not exactly what I would do. But he's got his hands tied up pretty good. Adam's there. Relatively good defense from Adam. Adam probably could have tried to reverse out, maybe go for a roll, but didn't quite get it. Separates them. Nice takedown from Alex. Really clean. Sets the precedent too. Now that you've got the takedown off of a reversal, essentially, does Adam really want to get in there and wrestle again? Lands a good shield punch. Circling the outside. Doesn't quite land that one. Times it a little off. Alex gets clinch. Doesn't quite have good inside control though. Got an outside elbow. Lands a nice knee. Still walking forward. See, a little bit more head movement, a little bit more lateral angles from Alex. Good punch after that straight knee that he keeps throwing. They tie up. End of round two. Nice round. Honestly, from both guys, it was a close round despite the takedown. It's like a 60-40 kind of thing. That takedown probably was the difference. And the fact that Adam is playing a defensive game plan. He's like put in motion this idea that he's going to circle around and strike and punch at range. And the way that looks optically is Alex is walking him down. And what happens if you're always trying to circle, at some point, like we saw in this round, if you get caught, like you're going to get caught, there's only so much space. You have to have a way to either counter the clinch and grapple, or reverse takedowns, or just get away from your opponent once they do have you. So Adam at first, in round one at least, was kind of underhooking, circling off the cage. Now he kind of went for a double leg once they hit the cage or the list, and as he tried to shoot the double, Alex reversed it, which may make Adam hesitant to try to close the gap at all and dance even more. And then when you're dancing and trying to circle constantly, it often leads to you making a forced error and stepping into the wrong place. And I think at this point, Alex wants to catch Adam and get him in the corner, get him against the list, and try and punish him there. Let's see what happens in round three. Tap it up. Let's go, boys. Good body shot from Adam. Good timing there from Adam. Land his shots and then block Alex's with the sword. It's pretty clean. Eats a punch though. Good kick from Adam. Nice duck out. Would have been good from Alex to try to clinch or throw something with his right side as Adam ducked out. Exchange of punches there. Adam seemed to land the better ones. But once again, he got caught. Now he's in the corner, right? You're dancing back and forth, trying to throw long shots. You get caught in the corner, and you get chucked like this. Double option rail throw. No matter which way Adam turned his hips to face, Alex had a direction that he was going to be able to step out. And this time Alex gets his hands and knees free, and he's able to land some good ground and pound. Solid work right there. That's exactly what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. Adam needs to essentially at this point establish that he can wrestle back or land solid enough strikes that he doesn't get grabbed again. You need to impose your will again on the fight. So right now, Alex is completely dominating the subtext of the fight right here. You know, what's not happening right in front of us is playing out kind of in their minds and in their energies at the moment. Alex right now has essentially won the beginning of this round. So the more he aggresses, the more momentum he's going to be able to build up. Eats some good shots there, though. But once again, nice big Superman punch doesn't quite land. The more he's allowed to essentially dictate the pace as he walks forward and Adam waits for him, the worse it will get for Adam. End of the round right there. Good fight, really good fight from both guys. I think it's clear winner. It wasn't like a landslide, it was really close. The striking especially, round one, that's one, I mean, you could give it to either of the guys. I want to say though that I still think, you know, I could see giving Adam round one. Here, you know what? Let's just go back and watch it again real fast. Let's look through round one and kind of talk about the difference in their striking here. Right in the very beginning, when we look at the range that they've set up, I've got it paused at 27 seconds in. You look at the line between the two of them. Adam strikes and he jumps back. And in that moment, Alex lunges forward with a sword strike, right? Just leaping across the void, which walks him right into Adam's second sword shot. And then as he continues to walk forward, Adam lands a solid, right hand over the top of Alex's guard. Now, Alex then is able to shove him against the rail, get him into the corner. But like we talked about in round one here, when I press play, you can see that Adam does a good job circling out, getting his little underhooks and frames in, and then stopping Alex from actually locking the clinch down. Let's see if we can find another position. Yeah, right about 1 minute in, we see the same thing. Alex walking him down, but as Adam hits the list, or when Alex gets him into the clinch positions, he's able to get head control, get inside frames, land a punch or two, and then circle out. Often landing more punches as he's circling out. Yeah, this first round, even though he's still backing up a lot, he's still eating shots. I do think you could arguably give it to Adam because he landed a significant amount of punches. Alex makes up for a little bit in some of these scenarios where he lands these clinch knees and shots to the body. You got to start to like pick up on the story of the fight though, right? Adam's able to land the right hand, and that's pretty much his most effective weapon. He's got some sword work going, but they're both pretty even with the swords. Alex is trying to walk him down because he's got a buckler, so he's got to get in close for these punches. Let's skip ahead to round two. Round two, we started to see kind of the same dynamic develop, but you see what happens when you get a little bit too loose, maybe a little bit lost in your circling and just backing up, not cutting good angles right here. Okay, so we'll see, this is a great example of it. They touch and immediately Alex comes in with the kick again. Adam backs up a couple of times, okay, cutting angles, but then he gets backed all the way into the cage, and as soon as his back is up against the list and he has nowhere to back further away, he doesn't recognize where he is, he doesn't cut an angle, Alex lands a beautiful left hand, left straight, that really blasts Adam's head back. And that enters him into this clinch position in a super dominant way. Now, and that's where it kind of forces Adam into this reversal. Adam was hit, rocked, and then clinched up with. So to get out of the head control, he ducked down. As he ducked down into this attempt at a double leg, where what he should have done, okay, there's a lot of things to do here. A lot of different ways he could have played this. But what he's trying, it looks like, to do is connect his sword, shield hand, get a wrench on the legs. But what he should have done here is drop to one knee, turn, and cut an angle on Alex's hips to try and scoop his legs out from the side, or drop low and have either one hand scoop an ankle as he turns, or get higher and lock around the hips and buttocks, not the knees. If you're locking behind the knees, it's where they can bend. They have a lot of leverage there. You might get the takedown, but it's unlikely. I'll go low single for that ankle, cut an angle so you're not going straight in. You can see where Adam's being pulled. But again, it was a desperation move, which got him countered beautifully by Alex climbing up the back, being patient, thinks about striking, but thinks better of it then, gets his hips back, hands off his leg, and then circles out. When you have somebody's head down and you're in the front headlock position, I clamp my elbows in, I bring everything in nice and tight, my head and my chest are on top of them, and I kind of hook their armpits or whatever I can get a good grip on with my pommel and my shield and my hands, and I call that the box. So when I've put someone into the box, I don't want to give them any avenue to escape. And that's one thing that Alex does really well here. We see that when he goes for that takedown, Adam had no way out. Okay, he was pretty much going to either go down, maybe go for desperation Simo, just holding on, which is what he kind of did. And all he was able to do was hold on to the arms. Saves himself from some ground and pound, but ultimately, the story of the fight after this becomes Alex walking down into the clinch position, trying to force more grapples. Let's jump ahead to round 3. Here we go. Once again, Kyle Joseph in the corners. Okay. They start off with an exchange of sword blows that Adam has beautiful timing in, where he's able to land, block. But then after that, he starts trying to throw a little bit more punches, kicks, has a beautiful turn and duck out. But then I think he starts to lose a little bit of steam in his footwork, and Alex is able to just walk in with punch combinations. And when Adam gets pushed in the corner here, this is like a checkmate position, right? He has Adam forced in the corner. Adam can't circle back. He can't cut side to side. They're in the clinch, right? He has to grapple now. Okay, and we've learned from round 2 and even the beginnings kind of this in round 1 that Alex is taking the edge in the grappling to the point where he's confidently wading into these, even in bad kind of, or with bad technique sometimes. But he's setting up heavy pressure, which Adam is trying to only retreat from. He's not meeting it with a heavy or intense pressure of his own yet at any point that we've seen. So he's not able to resist with force and power the way he wants to make Alex stop and hesitate, right? He's not threatening counters yet. He's kind of accepting the position and trying to retreat and circle out, which he was able to do in the first round a lot better because he seemed a bit more aware. But as the fight builds up and you get a little bit more tired, you lose your spatial awareness. So he's able to Alex is able to catch him in the corner. And here we see a beautiful pressure takedown from Alex. Reaps over. He's baiting the knee. So you can see they get pushed into the corner. And we're going to pause it right when they change the camera angle to show the two of them under the list. Okay, paused it. 7 minutes, 13 seconds in, right? You can see Adam has his foot up because he's ready to accept and defend knees that he's been getting hit to the body with, right? So Alex has been landing knees this whole clinch. So Adam's thinking, I'm going to get a knee. Now, Alex beautifully reads this and says, oh, he's defending against my knees. I'm going to step across and reap the leg. Even though I don't have the perfect arm position, I know that I can force this takedown. And so he does just that. He steps through, blocks both feet, turns the hips, beautifully done, ends up with his right arm and legs free, able to finally land some ground and pound. I believe the ref gave him a warning for those knees to the head. I don't think you're allowed to knee someone in the head when they're down in the golden ring, but I could be wrong about that. So just, be aware of the rules. I don't know. But after that, man, you could just see the domination in the grappling at that point off of a really clean takedown from Alex just set the tone. Alex continues to walk forward with big, risky strikes, and in a way, he doesn't care that he's taking risks and leaving himself open because he's so confident at this point, whether it's subconscious or not, that he can handle the grappling situation once they reach each other, once they touch each other. He's still eating those shield punches, man. I still want to see him throw some more parrying, more head movement, get a little bit more. There he goes, block one of them. Parried it with his shield hand a little bit finally. And then once again, the fight ends right where a lot of the fight happens, in the corner, Alex pressing Adam in. And let's just say that the truth of it was, right, it was who outdogged who in that last little clinch session. It was definitely a grappling grind both of those times, but it started out with Alex able to catch Adam finally at different points with his strikes to set up the clinches. And then within those clinch scenarios, Adam's plan seemed to be circle out, get back to striking. And if you can't do that, you got to have a plan B, plan C. What am I going to do if I can't get away? So this was just a really good fight, really fun one to watch. It's fun to rewatch and see a little bit more of the clean takedowns from Alex and the really solid striking from Adam too. Beautiful work. I think one thing maybe that he could introduce into his arsenal would be like a low ankle leg kick or a sweep kick, kind of like Emil does, because Adam fights with that long punch shield, which is going to entice people to come in. And so if you're able to cut those angles like you were, and then maybe scoop, attack the lead leg as people try to cross the void, who knows, you may end up getting a lot of sweeps with that. But either way, much love to you. Again, much love to my friends, patrons, and teammates that keep encouraging me. So this was a badass fight, and shout out to Alex and Adam. Props to both men, warriors, friends. And I know there was no love lost here, right? You could even see that Alex was rocking the Texas Shield to represent the Dallas Warlords, which is Adam's home team. So much love to both guys, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one.